Hello everyone, this is Red from Red's Third Dimension Gaming, and today I'm bringing you a review on Hyperdevotion Noire Goddess Blackheart for the PlayStation Vita. This game is an exclusive PlayStation Vita game. It may come to Steam eventually, just like Rebirth 1 and probably Rebirth 2. And it is a completely new title based around Noir as the protagonist instead of Neptune, and it's a pretty fun game. Now, first off, I did not think that I would like this game because as soon as I saw strategy RPG, I don't like those type of games. So I didn't think I'd like it at all. But I actually do like it. I like it better than Disgaea because of the story. Disgaea is one of those exceptions that I actually will play the game, but the story in Disgaea doesn't carry me through them as far as what I would like to. The Hyperdimension games, this is very similar to those games, kind of a spin-off with Noir, and the strategy RPG is a first for the franchise. So the story is very easy to follow. It's based around Noir, and at the very beginning you are in a fight with the 3 other CPUs, and she beats them. She wins. She has almost complete global domination for game shares, and she ends up screwing it up. She puts her trust in Ino, who is a witch, and she's kind of the bad guy in the game. Here's just a little preview of the beginning of the game, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Ino basically here pretends to be Noir's friend. She pretends that she's exactly like her, and everything's good. Then she gets Noir to wish something that she shouldn't have, because she said best case scenario will have like world peace, all of the game shares will be united if you make this wish. But there is a worst case scenario, which basically is what happens, and everyone loses their share. So Noir has to go along with Blanc, Neptune, and Vert on an adventure. I think player is actually supposed to be you, and you're supposed to be a little engaged in the game. That's what I got out of it. And you have him, and you end up becoming her secretary, which basically you're just following her around and helping her, which is awesome. There's even shower scenes in this game, which I will have in a separate video for you guys. The game continues to get better as it goes on. At first I was like, okay, and it gets a lot better. I really like Noir, so having her as the main protagonist instead of Neptune is really awesome. And there's also a lot of new characters that I haven't seen before, like Livin is actually a character in the game. I think you see her in the other games. That's a little clickable character that talks to you, but this one she's actually a character, Livin, and it's basically a ripoff of Chun-Li from Street Fighter. In addition to her, there are around almost 20 new playable characters. I think it's about 18 or so is what I've read somewhere. There are a lot. Each of these characters is a parody of a game franchise, a genre, or a game developer. That's a really nice way to change up this game a bit by adding more and more characters. How the gameplay is set up in this game is unlike any other Hyperdimension game in the series, and it isn't Hyperdimension, it's Hyperdevotion, which is really cool. I like the title, by the way. It's a turn-based strategy RPG. Basically you have turns, and they have a grid-based system. I mean, you can go on top of items in the map. There are lasers, there are flaming pits, there are electrified areas, and there are even areas that give you health or SP. So there's all kinds of different ways to play this game. One thing I don't like is that the battles take forever. For me anyways. I didn't play it on easy, which I should have. If you're not a major strategy RPG player, get on easy mode, and that will help you through these battles, because I had to restart some because I just didn't like the way it was playing out. and I really like to try to keep all my characters alive during battles, but there were some times when I wasn't able to do that because it does get hard. There are usually multiple enemies, maybe 10 or more enemies in each battle, which is a lot. So sometimes it'll take up to 20 to 30 minutes just to beat them. So you always have to come to the battle prepared, and there are some cool status effects. There's a pixelated effect, which you cannot use any of your other abilities. You can just use attack and item. And I don't know if your attacks are less effective, but when I was playing it, I didn't really notice the difference. But being pixelated sucks. In this game, they have kept the Lily system, and it grants special stats and abilities, while Lily points can be used to activate ultra special moves and sometimes goddess transformations. Basically, when you use a skill, your character can kiss you, and that affects the Lily system, and you'll gain points at the top. So every time you gain so many points, you can transform into HDD and become even more powerful. And being in HDD mode allows you to have a higher attack, higher vitality, and everything about being in HDD mode is awesome. I'm also glad that they have the disc customization so you can change it up. They still have that in there. I like how this is more of the classic mode. I believe in Hyperdimension Neptunia, first game, not the rebirth, but they had the town set up like this one. You can go around in Gamarket, which actually that's what this one is. It's not Gamindustri, but this world is known as Gamarket. And you can go around, click on a couple of different characters and see what they say. They have one character that is a female snake-like character from Metal Gear Solid. I believe it's supposed to be a parody of that new girl from Metal Gear Solid 5, the really hot one. I believe that's what she's supposed to be. You have all these different parodies of different characters. I just love it. You just read what they say and you'll laugh. But in the actual game, they'll have them during the cutscenes and during the gameplay. These characters are awesome in their own right. It's basically a game around parodies of games along with an awesome story. One more item on my list to talk about is the Sim Noire, where eventually when you're finished with certain events and certain battles and this and that, you can go into Sim Noire and customize the place by buying furniture, accessories, and more with in-game points that you earn. And then basically you can make her feel really nice about herself, and this unlocks extra scenes in the game. There's also another area where you can view all your event scenes, pictures that you've unlocked, and different music in that area. So that's cool too. And you'll see that all the other goddesses are hanging out in that room too when they're in your party. One area where I think they could have improved were the graphics. I actually did not like the big head little girl thing. That I found weird. I think they could have kept them, like, if they're going to keep them small, just keep them small altogether. I don't know why they even, like, it just looks like what my sister used to have. They were called Polly Pockets or something like that. Or you saw the Brat dolls that some girls have. I didn't like that really at all. I think that would be appealing to a lot of girls, a lot of males, not so much. But that's one thing I didn't like. I didn't like how the graphics didn't seem to pop as much as the other Hyperdimension games on Vita. On Vita, usually these games are popping out on my screen. They're beautiful. And yeah, that agitated me. Also, when you are trying to move, why can't you just control exactly where it goes instead of, oh, you have to go over this and you'll fall in the hole, or you'll fall in a trap, or something bad will happen. That happened to me several times because I'm trying to get to one way. They won't let you go anymore. So you can only choose to go one way, and once you're there, you could just fall in a ditch or something. So you have to go a little short and then go up and around. So you have to waste 2 turns on that character to go up and around. It's kind of stupid to have it that you can't go up or down and around, because you'll end up in a trap if you go the way that they want you to. So that's one thing I didn't like. Also, I think you should be able to throw your characters just like Disgaea has that in some of their games. You can pick up your character, throw them up over. That's what I thought you could do in this game, but I never found a way to do that. And I was trying to. Believe me, I tried. So overall, the game has a great story to it, just like all the other Hyperdimension games. This one, though, I really like because they based it around one of my favorite characters, Noir. And the gameplay is really good, but it could be improved upon. If they're going to continue with this, take it a step up. Look at like what Disgaea does and add some of them features in, but I love how this is set up compared to any other strategy RPG that's out there. This is one of my favorite. Just fix some of those issues that I have discussed, like getting around certain areas up or down or around, instead of just having it's our way, or you have to waste extra turns just to go there. I don't think that you should have to do that. There also should be some type of defend mode. If your character, they're hurting and you don't want them to wait a turn and you want them to defend, why can't you have them defend instead of wait a turn? There should be a way to defend yourself. So there should be a defense move in there. But there isn't, from what I've played so far. The game's length, from what I've seen from other people, is a pretty decent size. I've seen some people take 30 hours. I've seen some people take a little less or a little more. So it all depends on what kind of player you are. If you play it on easy, you can finish it probably faster. Overall, I'd give the game a solid 8 out of 10. It's not perfect with the gameplay and the graphics, but the story's good. I like how they're changing direction here, changing it to a turn-based strategy RPG. You can also play it in Japanese and English, which is really good because I don't like listening to the Japanese and then reading subtitles. I'd rather have a mode where you can have actual English. So thank you for putting that in there. So solid 8 out of 10. If you'd like to buy the game, go in and use the Amazon link below. I also have links to other places down there where you can get discounts if you use the code that I provided. And don't forget the thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe. Check out my Hyperdimension Neptunia reviews, my Hyperdevotion Noire walkthrough videos, and I'll see you guys next time.